So we've just got you, Robotic, and Owen today talking for the Loge of the Rings. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
awesome. I'll start the recording if you two are ready, and then we can go into the Loge of the Rings project.
Sure. Awesome.
And actually, will be recording it and streaming it live on YouTube as well.
Nice.
Welcome to the Wellcoin Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have joining us Loge of the Rings. The main focus of Loge is empowering its users to earn extra without having to work more without having to work more, should I say. Web3 helps them achieve this objective. We can go into the ecosystem, the Loge app, the Loge unique NFTs, and the tokenomics shortly. But first, guys, can you introduce yourselves with your background and experience?
Yeah, sure. I can introduce myself. So I'm Robotic. I currently run a marketing and development agency, Blockchain Secrets. I've previously worked at Whalecoin Talk as a marketing guy, and I have helped run some previous projects.
And my name is Owen. I've been in crypto for a little while, but my previous project was head of public relations for Doge.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, if we can just give us an idea of the utility of the ecosystem, Lord of the Rings, and you've got sort of a meme theme as well with Lord of the Rings series just coming out on Amazon. It's huge hype around that as well.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
let Owen take that.
yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, we are a meme token, but we are based on utility. The utility is mainly focused around our Walk to Earn app, which is called Walk to Loge Door for trademark reasons. But it is a move to earn app that is has kind of the environment and skin of Lord of the Rings. Um, One of the cool things about it, and we'll get well more into the utility, but it's not just your standard move to earn app. You're actually heading to destinations, equipping NFTs into your fellowship to boost your earn rate. You are also going to be doing random encounters and challenges as you are walking, kind of similar to like an RPG or something along those lines. So it's going to be really cool and really different. And that's the basis of the utility for the project. But yes, with the Amazon Lord of the Rings show having just premiered, it's cost them $1 billion, most expensive show ever made, and they're contractually obligated to do 5 seasons, so 5 years work. Um, and so that's pretty awesome. It's amazing for me because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan to be able to work on this project.
Yeah, maybe if we can start with the Loge app, how it works for investors and the passive income you can make inside the app.
Yeah, so there is a base earn rate. Really, all you have to do is just you would download the app, and you can just start walking. So there are 12 locations that you can travel to, all in a straight line. Luckily, Tolkien, who wrote the Lord of the Rings, gave very detailed descriptions of how far each location is to the next on the journey itself. So we were able to incorporate that. It is around for the first journey that we have planned. It's around 1,800 miles is what you have to walk or run. It's done by steps in your phone and counting it, so you can't get in like a bicycle or a car and go. But as you're going, you can purchase NFTs through a loot box that have different rarities that help your earn rate of the tokens that you can equip to them. Once you get to a specific location, you are given a location NFT based on that location that you just arrived at. And along with that, while you're on your way, random encounters and challenges will pop up, which are could be something just as little as there's a campfire off in the distance. Do you want to go investigate it, or do you want to continue on your path? There's a broken down cart in the road. Do you want to investigate it? Do you want to move right? And each selection that you choose could either help you or hurt you in your journey. It could slow you down. It could remove some of the coins that you had earned, or it could boost the amount of coins that you earned. It could you could get a different NFT or something else equipable. So it's going to be really interactive and fun. We felt that was something that the move to earn space was really lacking. It needed some innovation.
Awesome. How does it work for investors? Would you purchase an NFT or do you need to use tokens in the game?
Yeah. So our NFTs would launch in probably about 2 weeks, and you could buy that with a half BNB. But you would be able to purchase NFTs also with your tokens as well that you have either earned or that you have purchased yourself. But it will all be inside a marketplace inside the app itself. You'll be able to buy and sell them from other players, or you could just buy a loot box and just kind of roll the dice and see what rarity you get, and then you'd equip them to your fellowship inside the app.
Great, Owen. So with the Loge unique NFTs, it's 0.5 BNB. How many are you going to mint? Are you looking to go cross-chain? And the utilities attached is if you got rare ones, would you get better passive income inside the game or?
That's correct. Now, the passive income still is required for you to be moving at all times, for you to be able to earn like any kind of step, whether it's walking or running. But that's absolutely right.
Okay, great. And yeah, so the unique NFTs, how many are you looking to mint and what are you going to do on the NFTs?
That's correct. So, yeah, sorry, I forgot that first part of your question. So, as far as how many we are looking to mint, we have let's just call it our second season kind of planned. Whenever they get closer, players get closer to kind of completing their journey, because we are able to track that data of how close they are kind of on a leaderboard. So, we will mint up until we're ready to launch the second series of our NFTs that we're doing. Um, Obviously, we have the abilities to make sure that legendaries stay incredibly rare to be able to get from your loot boxes and whatnot. We don't want to flood the market with these NFTs, but we don't have a set number that we're looking to cut off. It's more set on a time frame more than it is an actual max number that are able to be minted. But there is a rarity level percentage of chance of being able to get that out of a loot box, and we'll make sure that it stays that percentage chance, if that makes sense.
And will there be advantages to the rare NFTs inside the walking app?
Could you repeat your question? I didn't really understand that.
Will there be advantages to the rare NFTs inside the game?
So yeah, it's all just based on your earn rate. So like your common could just get you, an extra, 1x multiplier to your earn rate, all the way up into a 3x for a legendary one. So just being able to have them and stack them on top of each other to really increase your earn rate. Now you can just download the app and not buy any NFTs and still just continue on your journey. But if you really want to make a good passive income by getting healthy and moving around and having some fun along the way and kind of a fantasy world, that's going to be the way, is just buying those NFTs, and the higher the rarity, the more tokens you're going to earn as you walk around.
And you were saying earlier on about people won't be able to get in cars or on bikes. Have you got something built in so people can't cheat the system?
That's correct, because it doesn't go off of a GPS location. All your phones that will have the app is able to track actual just like steps from the movements that you're doing, and it's very, very precise in knowing the difference between whether it's a step or if you're just kind of shaking your phone around or whatnot. So yes, that's how we're able to track it. It's not a GPS done kind of like a Pokemon Go. It's more of just counting the steps and just knowing the steps all the way up for the miles or kilometers that it takes to get to your destinations.
And you launched 4 days ago. How's it been going? What's been happening? You're building up the community. I think there's over 5 members in the Telegram.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'll take that one.
you want to take that, Robotic?
Yeah. Yes. So we launched 4 days ago, and straight away, we got into CoinGecko and CMC within 24 hours. We've had news articles in Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, etc. We've been called by pretty much all the major groups: Caesar, Venom, Seal Shills, Wellcoin Talk, and Dream Calls, Sapphire. It's been all of them pretty much. We've done AMAs in Dream Calls, Venom, XDC, Acid. I'm trying to think of else. Or Nordic Wales as well. So we've done a pretty comprehensive AMA tour, calls, news articles. We've had Twitter influencers tweeting. We've been on all like kind of the coin voting sites for, and we've applied votes there. We've had billboard at Times Square. And there's obviously capability to deliver a lot more in terms of marketing and the community. We've had ongoing giveaways We've had giveaways for the biggest buy, long-term hold. We've had active user shilling, everything to get the community hyped and excited in there. But yeah, it is a bit of a difficult market. I'm not going to lie. It isn't the same time as Meta Doge when it flew up, in November. So yeah, it is a bit more challenging currently. Yeah, that's where we are now. Continuing marketing, continuing with the development, and yeah, trying our best to make it work.
But I mean, yeah, you was part of the team for Metadoge, and it was a huge success. And I was wondering, what you planning to do with Loge of the Rings, which is actually your project. You're an expert marketer in the Chinese market, so yeah, maybe if we can go into some marketing of the meme side, how are you going to be able to get on the hype of the Lord of the Rings series? And as Owen said, they're going to do 5 series for many years to come. So is the liquidity and tokens locked for a long period?
Yeah, so the LP is locked for 6 months, and obviously we can extend that. In the majority of the supply is actually locked currently. So we have all of the LP locks are available on Pink Sale, and you can see they're locked for X amount of time. There is, some unlocking in a month or so, for instance, for the game rewards, the app rewards. But it's no concern as it's going to be, transferred to a contract anyway that's inaccessible by the team. We are KYC'd with Pink Sale, and we have an audit, and we will get further audits down the line. In terms of marketing capability, we can deliver Chinese CMC, Chinese CoinGecko, the TP wallet for China, Chinese banner ads on, CN token, Chinese CMC Felixia, the promotion in BTalk groups, Super Talk, possibly Vibo, that's not as good. AMAs in Telegram communities. So there is, a huge potential for marketing in China for sure. And we have the contacts and capability to deliver it. Obviously, it will. A lot of these things, depend on the budget. And in terms of our capability to deliver it, so we have to factor that in. But in terms of visibility, we do want to target Twitter. With the series coming out, there will be a lot of visibility on there for the Ring of Power, and it would be nice to be, for instance, trending there. The top of Elon Musk comments and to be tweeted by followers of CZ Binance. These are all ideas that we want to realize. And I think that would be a good place to target. We have done, YouTubers and also TikTokers so far, in various languages. So we'd like to continue with that and build momentum. And obviously, as budget grows, we'll expand into bigger YouTubers and gain that momentum that way. But yeah, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and then the Chinese platforms, Super Talk, etc. All areas that we are interested in for sure.
And are you building up like a Loge of the Rings army, want of a better word, to get out there on Twitter and Reddit, when there's promotions for the Lord of the Rings series and leave comments and links below?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously, that kind of the organic shilling is a good thing. We've had many shilling competitions to get people shilling on Twitter and Telegram. And I believe there is an active shilling competition now. I know that we're going to have the Twitter shilling competition live shortly. I think getting out there and getting the message out, like you say, on posts related to the series, but also getting that visibility if we can with the Twitter trending globally. That would bring a lot of visibility and attention. Yeah.
And you know devs that can do bridges and cross chain. I'm wondering in the future if you're looking to do that as well.
It's something that we've discussed, Owen and I and the team, a bridge into Ethereum. Yeah, it's a possibility. We were considering whether to launch on Ethereum, whether it's maybe a slightly different audience and maybe more beneficial for the project. But we decided on Binance Smart Chain in the end. I'm not opposed to going on Ethereum or any other network as long as it brings some financial benefit to the project and to the investors.
And can we go into the Loge tokenomics breakdown and the buy and sell tax? As so many tokens have been put aside, like for the app.
Sure. So the buy and sell tax is 5% each way ordinarily, and that's split between 3% marketing, 1% operations, 1% liquidity. Currently, there is a promotion where we've got 0% buy tax, and it's 10% sales tax, but that is only temporary for a period of 72 hours for when the promotion began, which was yesterday. So currently the buy tax is 0, the sales tax is 10, but ordinarily it's 5 each way. And there are plans to reduce that to 3, then to 1 and eventually to 0, because we recognize that to get on exchanges ordinarily, low taxes is favored or no tax. That's the route that we want to take. In terms of the supply itself, 50% of the supply is allocated to the app rewards. And then we have some vested contracts for marketing, 5%, and that's vested for a period of 12 months, releasing at 10% each month. None of it's released yet, so it will be released, I believe, in a few weeks. There's 5% of the supply allocated for the team and advisors, and again, that's locked for a period of 12 months, and it's vested again, releasing 10%. There's not really any intention to use the marketing or the team wallets. I wouldn't have thought they'd be necessary. But obviously, if for instance, you're marketing with an exchange, then they do require market making tokens. So it may be that it goes towards something like that. We do have exchange wallets for exchange liquidity. So there's 10% of the supply in the main exchange wallet. And then there is, I think, 5% in a partnership exchange wallet that we were in talks with ahead of launch. There is, what's the remaining one? Off the top of my head, I can't think if there is any remaining wallets, but we did have part of the supply for the private sale. That was the unlocked amount at launch, which was 5%. And we obviously had the pre-sale, which was an allocation of, I think, around about the 5-6% mark. Again, it was maybe slightly more than the private sale in terms of the allocation because it was a larger amount. That's kind of the proportions, what they were split in terms of the wallets. But all of the tokens are locked, for a considerable amount of time. So there's nothing, to be concerned about there in terms of any token release, etc.
Awesome, robotic. And going back to the Loge unique NFTs, are they going to be based on the characters in these series and expanded? If there's going to be 5 series, you could have new launches and they could be worth, be very valuable in the future. But is there any sort of copyright issues or anything like that if you're using the characters from the series?
No, we were very, very particular. I studied copyright law in college, and we were very particular in understanding fair use and parody. So, because of the changes we made, not both to their name as a play off of it, and the characters themselves having Doge faces, we have avoided the trademark infringement.
Okay, cool. Well, let's open it up to the rest of the team. If anyone's got a question for Robotic or Owen, go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn. I've been listening in. Sounds exciting. I'm curious to hear more about the app. It sounds exciting the way people can just kind of run, walk, whatever. So I take it won't be like in any particular direction, and the maps it will be like kind of fictive from what you were saying. So basically, all you'll have to do is just walk, and then it would kind of go up with the more you walk. And I was
That's
also
correct.
I was
Oh,
also
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
no, yeah, sorry. I thought it was disconnected. Sorry. So will people need to use this NFTs to kind of start on walks, or will anybody be able to do it even for free, kind of like free to walk, get an incentive, maybe you earn a very I don't know, maybe a less valuable NFT if they do something in the app, or will there be like opportunities for people to use it for free?
Absolutely. They can get started without paying a dime. They can just get started, start moving, download the app, and start walking. They don't have to purchase any NFTs. Now, if you really want to make that, passive income that really makes an impact, you're going to want to invest in those NFTs to earn the tokens that way. But you absolutely don't have to. And there will be opportunities depending on different, we'll just say quests, but encounters or challenges that pop up. If you make the right selection on a specific one, it may lead to an NFT being granted to you that will help with your earn rate. So, to long story short, you absolutely don't have to purchase the NFTs. It's just more valuable if you do.
Right. Yeah, that sounds fair. And then all the rewards they're gonna be in the native token, I take it, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and if you get people, I don't know, are you planning to have ways of people spending their tokens in the game aside from opening, I don't know, NFTs or anything like that? Are you looking to give them sort of like any or implementing any sort of gacha style mechanics where say, okay, you'll get double steps for I don't know this amount of time for the next 10 minutes if you boost with tokens or any plan sort of like that to create some more token sinks and then maybe I don't know burn them, use them for marketing or whatever.
So we do have different ways that are incorporated into certain challenges to where you could risk some of the tokens because you bank your tokens. You have a bank before you actually like transfer them to your wallet while you're earning them. So those tokens are still, while earned, aren't actually in their wallet. So they're kind of free reign is how that option works. So there could be a challenge where someone asks for, 10 tokens to be able to get something to drink or something. Do you give it to them? And do they rob you or do they end up returning you with 100 or something along those lines? Just to give an example of how it could work. But also the tokens could be used in the Loge merch store that we're going to be launching so they can actually get some tangible items as well. And they get a discount by purchasing that way, purchasing different NFTs. So there'll be a lot of different options to be able to incorporate that.
Yeah, sounds exciting. And how far along is the app? Is there like a beta or like an early VIP version or anything for people to get their hands on, or when can we get our hands on it?
We're looking at about 4-week timeline right now from our devs, but it's well underway.
Okay, yeah, that sounds exciting. I like it because I know there's a lot of people trying to take different approaches to move to earn, walk to earn, and I don't know if anybody's found the right recipe for success yet. So this could be really interesting, because it creates the hype. People like it. People like memes. We know people like memes. It creates hype, and then behind the narrative of keeping people healthy and getting people to move, getting people to get out of the house and all this, and if you make it fun for them, it can be super super exciting for people, and then they can stake their NFTs. They can do all these things. I was reading you're gonna have NFT staking probably before the app as well. So a lot of exciting stuff for people to get involved with. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate the kind words on that. That's what we're hoping for is just Steppen did a good job just making the move to earn craze happen. And there's been a lot of copycats off of that, but we really wanted to try to push it and make it a lot more engaging, a lot more interactive for people to be able to have fun and a lot more approachable for people even outside of crypto that just want a game where they can go, kind of adventure, lose some weight and still have fun doing it outside of just, hey, it counts your steps. So that's kind of the entire craft behind what we were trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, and it's a huge opportunity with the series. I know there's a lot of diehard fans out there, that try everything, buy all the collectibles, go into all so you never know who's watching and who's gonna get super excited about some of these NFTs or anything like that. And yeah, I gotta congratulate you because you're like what in 3-4 days after the launch, and I was looking at the roadmap and the website. I think most people do this, but I was looking through your phase one, so it's like basically almost done, right? So you're moving at quite an accelerated pace, right? So that's to be appreciated, and like I think people tend to notice this kind of things, so it's super bullish, yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got listed on CMC and CoinGecko within 24 hours of launch, which was pretty exciting for us. So, yeah, it's mainly just getting our name out there as much as possible, people understanding the vision and the utility of it, and kind of just being bought in from that aspect of it and believing in us. So that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah,
Oh, and that's what I was going to. Sorry, actually, yeah.
no, I was
But
done. Yeah, go ahead, man. Thank you guys.
yeah, I mean, Robotics an amazing marketing guy. He's got the contacts in Asia and China, and it's just getting the word of mouth out there. And the right tweet with the series coming out, could just explode the Loge of the Rings project. To community questions. Let's see, Syed, you had a question for Robotic or Owen at Loge of the Rings. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. I have a few questions. So I was thinking that will Walk Tomorrow app also going to offer maybe running or walking workout plans, such as walking for beginners or for weight loss, depending on the user's BMI as well?
We haven't exactly considered it doing it from that analytical from the health side. It's definitely something that we could look into. It wouldn't be difficult to code something like that into the app since the main, functions of it would just kind of meld with that. So that's definitely something we're open to if that's something the community wants. It wouldn't be difficult to build that on top of it.
Yeah, it will be a very useful feature as you have already developed the Walk One app. So next question, I want to know that will users be able to set daily goal using your app, which they want to walk for a day?
Yes, they will be able to do that. They'll be able to set daily goals that they want to. And it also, two of the things that it tracks, not only does it track just your overall distance walked from your journey, it tracks your distance to your next point. So while we've changed the names for trademark reasons, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you may know, so if you're walking from Rivendell to the Mines of Moria, that's, 138 miles or something, it gives you the distance to your next location you're going to. And then once you reach that location, you get a location NFT off of it. So that's some of the ways it gives people an actual firm goal of what they're trying to get to and what they're trying to accomplish, but they can set their own goals in between there as well.
Okay, understood. So I want to know that have you thought of maybe adding a function of minimum distance that should be necessary for a user to cover on a daily basis? And if they don't cover this distance, they should be sent back to the last point or location which they haven't reached yet, in order to motivate the users to at least cover small distance daily.
That's definitely actually a good idea that we haven't considered yet. We haven't considered minimum distances because we didn't want to make it seem it's a fine line that you have to cover when it comes to that, because you want them to truly feel like they just turn it on and they can start earning tokens. So you do want to motivate them from a weight loss perspective and an engagement perspective, but you also don't want to turn people off and say, oh, I walked 2 miles. This is a ripoff. I didn't get any of the tokens that I earned. I don't want to play anymore. So it's finding that good middle ground of encouraging people to have a healthy lifestyle, but also not making them feel like we're tricking them into not giving them the tokens that they've earned from whatever minimum movement that they do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Got it. So I was also thinking that in future, do you have plan or any plan of adding more move to earn features like cycling or swimming maybe?
As far as move to earn features, we are considered biking is one of the main ones that we're looking at. Swimming hasn't really come up yet just because a lot of phones aren't waterproof or they don't have a waterproof casing for it. So we haven't considered doing that. And it's not based on GPS location, so it would be difficult to track. Biking we've considered because there's so a much larger biking community, especially from where I live. There's a much larger biking community out there. So we have considered that. our main focus for our future updates and iterations are different locations that you're able to travel to, different quests that you're able to go on, different fellowship NFTs that you can equip from like an evil faction side, which we can get into at some other point. We have a lot planned as far as the roadmap, and luckily this is a huge intellectual property that gives me a lot of creative freedom to be able to work with, and I happen to be a huge fan of it. So it's great to be able to do so.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, final question. So you said users will face random encounters or scenarios during their walk, and you also presented an example. So I was thinking that if user decide to take a different path or scenario, how will it determine that whether a user will gain further points or he will lose points? It will only depend upon the decision or getting an NFT. How will that work? Can you little bit explain that more?
Yeah, the easier way is to maybe put it in a way that's more easy to digest is um, the distance between each location. There's a set amount of tokens. It doesn't necessarily go by you walk 1 mile, you get a token. It's progress to your next point. So that makes it easier for us to slow down and speed up depending on choices that you make. So say, for example, one of the challenges is you come to a fork in the road. Do you take a left or you take a right? Well, say you take a left, it's a shortcut. So it actually cuts 20 miles off your journey. You still earn the same amount of tokens. You just now have to walk 20 miles less to get to your destination, where the other one, now you added 20 miles, for example, because it's a longer journey, but you still earn the same amount of tokens. So now you're earning at a slower rate. So that gives us the ability to speed up and slow down in those kind of situations, if that answers your question.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you for explaining that very nicely. Thank you so much. Over to you, Glenn.
You too, man. Thanks for the good questions. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the question, Syed. Yeah, I was wondering, Owen, so when you complete a stage, you get an NFT. Will there be rarities attached to that where you could get a super rare one? And have you looked at doing maybe the first three that complete a stage get another prize as well?
So we are looking at a leaderboard situation to where, for example, for a week uh, of people walking or something, we have a leaderboard. Top 100 get a specifically rare NFT that won't be minted outside of that situation, whether it's a rare character that can help your earn rate or whatever it may be. It's just ultra rare that only the top 100 walkers within that week will be able to get. Now, the NFTs that are location NFTs, it's hard to put a rarity on that because really it's rare if you walk the 1800 miles to get all the way to Mordor. Like, that's rare. That's a badge of honor you get to show off to the rest of the community of, I completed this leg of the journey before the new journeys come out. So that's, yes, it's rare, but only rare because nobody's walking 1800 miles, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah, cool. Oh, and I was wondering, is there any obstacles in the way? Like you said, there can be shortcuts. Can there be dangers and you can be set back on your journey as well?
Absolutely. I mean, there's ones from where you go to help somebody, but they happen to be a pickpocket and they knock you unconscious and now you can't walk for 24 hours or something. Or there's a party of dwarves you run into. Do you help them with their quest that they were going to do into the mines, or are you going to continue on your journey? Like, there's ways, sometimes it doesn't always be a negative effect, but if you choose to engage with it, it could be positive or negative in the outcome. Maybe you go in and you help them clear out a dungeon and you get a cool NFT or extra tokens from a chest as your share. Or maybe you go in there and you get the hell beat out of you and now you can't, walk for 24 hours, you can't play. There's different options and ways, and it's constantly evolving as we go. I think there's going to be over 100 different ones at launch.
Cool, Owen. Yeah, I mean, I remember tech sort of role-playing games like Monkey Island, and they're super addictive, and you have choices to make along the way, that sort of thing. I was thinking it keeps engagement and it's really addictive.
Exactly. That's what we're going for.
So let's open it up to Asia. You had a question for Owen or Robotic at Lodge of the Rings. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. So I want to know, will it be necessary for users to walk outdoor to cover distance, or app will also allow users to walk or run on treadmill to gain distance and complete challenges or quests?
That's a great question. You can do it completely from indoors, whether you want to just, like, for example, I'm talking to you on my phone and I'm walking around on my back deck, and for some reason, I don't know if it's because I have ADHD or what, I walk in just a circle whenever I talk on the phone. So that's still counting as a step. If you're on a treadmill, that still counts as a step. So you do not have to be outside. There's no, and that's why we didn't really want to do it by a GPS location like Pokemon Go. We don't want to put restraints or confine you from how you get your exercise. If you just want to run in place, if you're wanting to play like video games like Nintendo Switch or something like that and it's interactive, that's fine. As long as your phone's registering as a step, you're good.
Wonderful. Okay, moving to my next question. I was thinking, will there be any extra reward for users reaching each location first to obtain location NFTs? And will location NFTs also represent the number on which player reached a particular location? Or maybe allow users to challenge each other to reach a certain location first, and user reaching the location first can win some small amount of tokens that will the users wagered, that all the users wagered.
So, yes and no. So that's where it's a really fine line because you want to add competition in there. Yes, we are going to incorporate ways where not only you can maybe go up against and challenge somebody, but you can team up together if you happen to be near each other on your path on the leaderboard. You could team up together to go do some quests and everything. So there will be multiplayer aspects to it. But when it comes to if you get there first, you get something else besides the NFT. We've talked about that. We may do a situation where, once the community, once 150, 200 people, 1,000 people reach this location, that those members get a certain amount of tokens or something. But we didn't want to do it just one person at a time because that kind of incentivizes, or it doesn't, incentivizes in the best word, it makes people want to cheat. And while we do have anti-cheat measures in place to prevent that, we don't want to encourage people to be racing to a specific point for extra tokens, because then people, if there's a way to exploit it for financial gain, people will try and do it. And so to keep the game as fair and clean, as balanced as possible, we try to make sure that we're not incentivizing that in any way, if that makes sense.
Understood. That makes sense. I also want to know, will there be any limit on distance that user can walk in 24 hours or in a single day for earning reward tokens?
No, there won't be a restriction. And the main reason we're able to do that, see, most walk to earn apps can't do that because then people, again, they would be incentivized to cheat. They would just attach their phone to their dog and let them run around in circles or something for 24 hours. Our ways, as you know, the random encounters, they pop up. It's a pop up and it stops your progress right there. Even if you're just still running or trying to, make it look like you're getting steps in or whatever it may be, it won't count and you won't progress until you make a decision or a choice. So because we're able to incorporate that as anti-cheat measures, as one of them, that prevents us from having to put a cap on a per day basis of you being able to walk. If you want to walk for 8 hours a day, go for it. Do it. As long as you're making the selections along the way.
Got it. So final question from my side. I was wondering, will the app be compatible with various fitness trackers? So my heart rate for tracking the running or walking activities more accurately.
Yeah, so as far as I'd have to really look at the space, I know it would be able to be on iWatch and most Android watches, but without really checking in the technical aspects of all the different types of health devices, whether it's a Fitbit or whatnot, I couldn't tell you if it would be able to be functional with that. Technically, if it's connected through Bluetooth, it wouldn't be hard to program that. But generally speaking, it will be compatible with different smartwatches.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for answering all my questions very nicely.
No problem. Thank you for your good questions.
The questions, Asia. Let's move on to Western Beast. You had a question for Robotic or Owen. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. My first question, I saw on your white paper that 12 locations will be available at the app's launch to travel to, with additional locations, quests, and fellowship NFTs planned for future updates, so this journey never ends. My first question is, what determines the location where these NFTs will be placed? And will the location of the NFTs be at the same place for everyone participating, as you said that they can show their acquired NFTs to other participants?
Okay, so that's a good question. Think of the location NFTs as if anyone on here has ever played Pokemon, all right, whenever you are venturing out in Pokemon, you are conquering gyms. And every time you conquer a gym, you get a badge showing that you conquered that gym. It's not like the first person that gets there or the 30, the only top 100 people. Every single player has an opportunity to earn that badge to show off that they conquered that. Same thing with the location. If you walk all the way to Mordor, it doesn't matter if 1,000 people walk there before you. We don't want to shut off any new players from incentivizing them from wanting to pick up the game and play. We want you to be proud of what you accomplished. You walked 1,800 miles. You should have all 12 NFT locations, because there's going to be a lot of people that give up halfway through because they just don't want to. Exercising's hard. So that's one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we did. So yes, if you make it to that location, you will get that location NFT.
Okay, so I'm still not really clear on the aspect of this location. When you say these different locations, will the different locations be different for each country or different geographical regions? And how will you determine the safety of those who want to participate, if assuming that these are real world locations?
I see what you're saying. They're not real world locations. So they're locations based off of Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings are the locations. So not to get too nerdy again, I'm a big fan, and I know I'll probably bore a lot of people. So in the Lord of the Rings, Frodo, main character, goes on a quest and travels to all these different locations, eventually to Mount Doom, the big mountain in Mordor, and throws a ring in there and, saves the day. That's the path that you will be traveling.
Oh, I get it now. I get it now. So
Yeah,
my
all
next
made up
question is that,
locations. Yeah, it's a certain distance that he wrote in the books of how far each are. So if you walk 160 miles, you end up, in Bree, and you're able to get a Bree NFT. But it's no GPS location, no real world stuff. It's just going off of steps and distance traveled.
I get it now. Thanks for explaining that. Okay, my next question is that I saw on your website 4 different NFT pictures. One a wizard, another a Viking, another an archer, and another a knight. Are there any other categories of NFTs that will be brought into existence, maybe over time? And then what are the categories for this?
Yeah, so those are just current mock-ups. We're still finalizing the NFT designs as they are right now with different graphic designers, because that was what we originally did. It's kind of a chibi look. It's Doge characters in almost an anime style mixed with Lord of the Rings. We don't know if we want to be at a little more serious, kind of like how, or realistic, kind of how our logo is, or if we wanted it more of the cartoon, adorable style. So we're still trying to finalize that this week. So those are just mock-ups. But yes, there will be 9 NFTs at launch to represent each 9 members of the Fellowship from the movies and the books. And then future iterations for Fellowship NFTs, not to give away too much information, but we'll have an evil faction as well, to where you'll do the journey in reverse, except you're conquering the different locations with equipping your evil Fellowship guys and actually taking over all these good places. And then multiple different forks off from there. So.
All right, I understand that too. I also saw the fact that there will be encounter choices during the process of gathering the NFTs. I wanted asking, these encounter choices, are you also planning to host any events, maybe for a meet and greet session, even if it's a virtual activity? Will there be also reward events? For example, maybe those who are participating in projects meet up for an event?
We would absolutely be open, if that's something the community wants to do. We would absolutely be open to running some community events. One, we'll have to probably start virtually, but even in person, like meetups and whatnot, programming in our own kind of challenges or quests or destinations specifically for people that are at the meetup. Like, that would be incredible to be able to do. It depends on the player base size and if that's something the community wants, but we do absolutely want to do the virtual ones. But an in-person one would be phenomenal if that's what the community wants to do.
All right. So since it's actually virtual, are you participating on, are you planning on partnering with maybe any gyms that maybe specify on running on treadmills among other factors?
We are always open for partnerships. That's more of a robotic question because he is the marketing guru. I am just here to throw creative ideas at the wall and him tell me if they're stupid or workable or not. But that's probably more of his ball game. But we are constantly looking for different partnerships, whether it's with tokens, with brands, anything. We're always open to it.
With the partnerships, yeah, we partnered with Connector Coin on launch, Super Connectors Coin, and they bought the majority of the private sale and the pre-sale, and they obviously have Tommy Chong and other influencers involved with Connector Coin. So that was our first partnership, and obviously there was a partnership with Blockchain Secrets in regards to marketing. In terms of all the fast tracks, the billboard, the press releases, etc. And we have a number of advisors that advised, such as the baby, a marketing advisor. In terms of partnerships with tokens, I do know project owners, but in order to solidify a partnership, we need to reach certain milestones, certain steps in terms of development, and obviously market cap increase. For established tokens to partner with us, we obviously need to fulfill, I'd say, like a criteria almost, in terms of development and market cap growth. But the connections and options are there. I do know other project owners, and I do know influencers, etc. So the opportunities there. It all depends on how we deliver the project, and the next step for sure would be partnerships with tokens. Yeah.
All right, all right. So here's my final question. Now, let's assume that on day one, I was able to cover maybe say 10 miles worth, and then on day two, I was able to cover maybe 12 miles worth. As maybe I plan on running on a self-improvement course apart from registering these tokens, and earning these tokens, sorry, will I be notified that wow, I actually made an improvement? Or if I didn't really cover what I have covered the previous day, maybe there's an encouragement statement that, oh, I can actually do better next time?
Yeah, so it will be, you will have a summary. Probably only go back a week. We'll see if we can do it any longer than that. But you will have a summary of your previous days, or each days that you walk, how far your journey was, kind of what you were able to earn as far as tokens go, any quests that you did and what decision you made, and what another decision could have been. All of that will be available.
All right, Owen. Owen, Robotic, I really appreciate the answers to the detailed answers to the questions. I really wish you guys, and I hope your project stays bullish moonward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you. I appreciate your
Okay.
questions, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question, West and Beast. Let's move on to Dion. Dion, you had a question for Robotic or Owen at Loge of the Rings. Go ahead. Are you there, Dion? No, we'll maybe come back to him. I know he's in Loge of the Rings chat, so maybe he's an investor and wanted to ask a question, but you can come back and raise your hand if you come back in. Let's try Queen Aespa. Are you there?
Yeah, am I audible enough?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. Yes, and I just want you to help me explain more about your NFT marketplace, and do I have the right to exchange my NFT in the marketplace? Is there any conditions for users who want to buy and sell their NFT in the marketplace?
There's no conditions for it. You can set your own price for your NFTs that you want to sell in the marketplace. We do take a percentage off of each sell. I think it's like 5% or 10%. I have to double check with Robotic on that, but we will take a percentage that goes back into marketing funds, liquidity, all of that. But yes, there is no any kind of requirement you have to make to be able to sell your NFT.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Dion's got his hand up again. As you're in their group, yeah, and you're probably an investor. Have you got a question, Dion?
Okay, yeah. I was going through the white paper and I saw the tokenomics and I saw that 50% was going for the games and the rewards. So how do you keep up with this? Because if people keep on getting rewards, they might want to take their profits, and in taking profits, the price of the token keeps decreasing. Or is it that the token is inflationary? That's my first question. How do you keep the price of Lodge?
So it's a very particular balancing act. One that luckily we're still in the finite stages of making sure that we iron it out as far as rewards go, to ensure the longevity and sustainability of the project itself. The tokens, as far as whenever you buy an NFT, that goes back into the actual pool. I won't call it the staking pool, but it goes into the pool for the game, which is a half BNB, is how much it costs.
Mm.
So there's a lot of different ways that it keeps up the sustainability of the project. And the main thing, and one thing that we also learned with, because we were previously on Doge, which we took from 7K starting market cap to 10 million all time high. And one of the things that we learned, because we had very aggressive APYs on our staking NFTs, and we had to reduce them over time, we learned a lot from that and the sustainability of something that blows up pretty big, which those did. So we are going into it making sure that that is top of mind, that it doesn't in any way kind of inflationary, deflationary, anything like that in regards to it. And we'll be constantly monitoring it to ensure the longevity.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, the 12 locations on the app, if I go around them, like I've gone to all the 12 locations, I've got my reward. Is it still possible to get rewards if I still go around those locations again, if I still walk around the locations again, or it's only once?
It's currently only once. And the only reason being is that by that point in time, and we're able to monitor it to see where people are on their path. We will have different places for them to go and locations for them to visit and other things for them to go and do by that point in time. So we don't plan for it to be someone gets there and then all of a sudden it's over. If it ever got to that kind of point, we'd have it to where you could just start your journey over and do it again if you needed to.
Okay. I also saw on the roadmap, you guys, there's more focus on the Chinese stuff, like the marketing is more going to the Chinese stuff. Is there any reason why more marketing is going to the Chinese community? Like, are they potential investors more than the rest, or I don't know if it's just the marketing is
I'm not. Were you asking why we were looking to
So
focus
I think I
more
got
on
that.
Chinese marketing?
Yeah, I think you was touching about marketing basically. Yeah, there is
yeah.
a planned focus on China because Chinese people obviously have historically invested in meme projects for sure and moved to earn. So there's an investor base there, so there will be a focus on China.
Okay. My last questions. We've been seeing many move to earn projects, many move to earn projects. We've seen step in, step up, blah 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 blah. So what makes Lodge quite different, or what will make it stand out? What will make investors want to put their funds in this and say, yeah, I can, what's the word? I can put my funds here and know that yes, this is going to be safe and I'm going to make passive income, and now it's also going to help me stay healthy. What's the secret?
I would think that the main difference between it, because Steppen did, I mean, they brought the move to earn crease to life, and then there's been a lot of copycats off of that, but they're all doing the same formula. Not to put down any other project whatsoever, but they're all doing where you kind of just turn it on and you walk, and that's it. There's no interactivity really that goes along with it. Sure, you can get some NFTs to help boost your earn rate, but there's no actual interactivity, and that's what we're trying to bring to the table, is making it fun and interactive along the way, not just turn it on and walk, because that's can get really boring, and people eventually stop playing. And if you don't retain your user base, if you don't hook them in as soon as they pick up that app and start playing and realizing, oh, this is fun, oh, I'm getting to a specific point to get this NFT. If you're not doing that, it's just not worth it. So that's why that's our number one focus, is revolutionizing the entire genre itself and not just copycatting it.
Yeah, I get your point. Okay, my last question is: are we going to use Lodge to buy the NFTs or BFT itself on the app
Yeah, you will be able to
as
buy them with Loge
as a
tokens.
utility?
Yeah, and the tokens you earn, you could just turn those into an NFT if you want. Because again, you have a bank before you transfer them into your wallet. So if you bank enough, however much it is, 5 million or whatever, however many tokens it is at that time, depending on price, if you can either pay the half BNB and just buy and mint a loot box and have that sent to your wallet and attach it to the game, or you can use your in-game tokens to be able to buy NFTs that way and equip them to your fellowship.
All right, Owen, thanks for answering my questions. And I'm sure lots of other investors here, they've learned quite from the questions. And over to you, Glenn. Thank you.
Thanks for your questions, man.
Thank you for the questions, Dion. Dennis, you had a question for the Loge of the Ring team. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Glenn. Okay, as you will have some routine tasks like running for 14 kilometers or walking or any other tasks planned. So I want to know if someone isn't able to complete those tasks due to some issues they might face or anything can happen. So will it be possible for them to just save the progress there and continue from the same point on next year or after a few hours?
Good question. And yes, that is the complete intent. We don't want it to be like they can set their own milestones if they want to set it to where they walk 5 miles, but we don't want to penalize them. So when they turn off the app, at night and they wake up the next day and turn it on, they're going to be in the same place that they were, whether that's 36 miles from Mordor or whatever it may be. That's where they are and that's where they stopped in their journey. So the journey is always continuing forward unless they make the wrong decision, if that makes sense, in a challenge.
Okay, that's awesome. And as you have plans for NFTs checking as well, so I was wondering, will it be possible for the people to participate in the move to earn while checking the same NFT as well?
Those NFTs that are releasing, the 9 fellowship NFTs, are strictly and only for boosting your earn rate in the game. And the location NFTs, as of this time, are not staking. We have a different idea for staking NFTs in the future, whether that's maybe is something that you earn from completing a specific quest or something along those lines. But those 9 NFTs that you're able to purchase through a loot box, the purchasable NFTs, are not staking NFTs.
Okay, that's awesome. And I was having trouble with my Telegram and internet when MA started. I don't know if you have covered it, but while I was going through your roadmap, you have plans to launch the music video, and how to buy video was written also along with the music video. So I was wondering, do you guys are in talk with any celebrity or a singer who will be making this music video?
Robotic, you want to take that one?
No, it's not. Not a celebrity as such, but we have a music producer. Yes, the budget wouldn't cover somebody too big, I'm afraid. So yeah, in touch with a music producer. We have a video producer who's worked in TV series, etc. Yeah, a music video, but not quite a celebrity, I'd say.
Okay, and what are the other benefits you guys are providing, or the sweet looking location NFTs will provide some incentives? What are the other incentives these kind of NFTs will provide to the investors? Will they allow to sell these NFTs on other marketplaces, or they're just for telling the progress that they have been on in that location? So how will it work?
So you will have the ability to sell those NFTs if you want to, but they are just badges of honor of how far that you have traveled. Like, that is what those are for.
Okay, great. And thank you so much for answering my questions.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for the questions, Vanessa. We're running out of time now, so maybe people that have joined in the middle of the AMA, or if we can do a recap or robotic on the Loge of the Rings project to wrap it up.
Yeah, do you want to start, Owen, and I'll finish it?
Yeah, just to give a recap of what the utility of the project is, and then I'll let Robotic finish it out with the number side. But the utility of the project, the Walk to Loge store, it is a Lord of the Rings themed walk to earn app. It is done by distance. It's done by number of steps, whether that is walking or running. There's no GPS. You can do it all inside on a treadmill if you want to. And as you are going along your journey, there are 12 major locations from the movies and books that you are walking to in a straight line. Along your way, there are different challenges and encounters that will pop up where you'll have to make a choice. And making the wrong choice could set you back, or making the correct choice could give you a boost to your earnings. You can also purchase NFTs via loot box that with different rarities that you can equip to your fellowship that will help your earn rate. And once you reach any of the 12 destinations, you are given a location NFT. So there's a lot of really cool things that we're doing, whether you're a Lord of the Rings fan or not, a fantasy fan or not, or a game fan or not. It is something for everybody that we're incredibly excited for you to get your hands on and play. And of course, if you have any questions on that, you can always DM me. DMs are open. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions you have.
Thank you, Owen. Yeah, and just to obviously cover, the marketing capability, with MetaDoge, we trended it on DexTool, CMC, CoinGecko, Crypto.com, Avi.ai, all of the right places, visibility. Obviously, it's a different time period now. These things may not have the same effect, but we have the connections to deliver billboards, digital adverts, any celebrities, the Chinese marketing, the Chinese CMC list, in the Echo listing, etc. We have already delivered a lot, in terms of press releases, fast CMC, fast CoinGecko, many influencers, many call channels, many AMAs. So there has been, we've certainly not kept the money. We've been spending a lot on marketing, which is important in these projects, but also in this market where it's, obviously it's slightly tough right now, I'd say, to launch a project, certainly this week anyway. So yeah, obviously you've got to push forward, and yeah, it's we have the connections. We just need the belief of holders to take it forward, and then we can do the right thing at the right time. But yeah, we've got all the capability, all the dev capability, all the marketing capability, the communications capability, graphics, video, everything's covered. All the skills are there. We just need the belief and interest in the token to carry it forward, obviously to higher market caps, and also to generate money for the budget, basically.
Awesome, Robotic and Owen. It's been great speaking to you today from Loge of the Rings. Many of our investors will know Robotic is a open, honest, transparent, down-to-earth guy. So he's not going to do anything dodgy on the community. So it's great for our investors today to hear about Loge of the Ring. It's not really a short-term hold; it's a long-term hold. As you build it, like you say, where you've got the marketing skills to take it places. You've got the Lord of the Rings series coming out, so there's lots where the project could just pump at a moment's notice. So if you're interested, we always say welcome to us for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice, but you can check out the website, the white paper, and the official socials. They're in our main chat. So check out the project, and if you like what you see, go to the community, and I'm sure if anyone's got any questions after the AMA, there can be someone from the team to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you,
Nice to
man.
speak
I
to you
appreciate you
again,
having
Glenn.
us, Glenn.
Thanks for coming, guys. I think one spin at the wheel, and we had a great few questions today. So we've got one $50 prize for a question that will be announced later on after the AMAs today.
Yeah, I got the wheel up. I hope everybody can see it. Let me shuffle it a bit here, and I'll get our second winner. It'll be $50 each, and it'll probably be Dizzle DMing you for your wallet, guys, to send you over your prizes. Okay, I got your ID. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. This has been great. It's lovely to see teams that have a good background, knowledgeable people building something cool in the DeFi space. And I encourage everyone to go check out the website. The art is really nice, and certainly, like Glenn said, with 5 seasons coming of the series, this is something for the long run. So thank you to the Loge of the Rings team for being here with us. Robotic, Owen, awesome job, and yeah, congratulations on the launch, and we're looking forward to the NFTs and the move to Earn app and everything coming. It's super exciting, yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
man.
much.
We
Andrew.
appreciate it.
Very much, Robotic.
All right.
And take care, and we'll see you around.
Take care. See you later, guys.